Ready or Not is famously one of the realest co-op tactical shooters of the modern era. Released on the 13th of December of 2023, this game was one of the darkest and most detailed looks of what it's like to be a police officer in a horrific universe. Today, I'm attempting something more impossible than my dad returning with the milk by using the worst weapon in the game. For those who do not know, the pepperball gun fires little pepper rounds that disorientate enemies non-lethally so you can take them down safely. The only problem is that on the hardest difficulty, this thing becomes almost completely useless, which turns this challenge into a genuine nightmare. Enemy health, damage, accuracy, and awareness are all increased. Enemy numbers go up, compliance gets way worse, and worst of all, my damage resistance gets nerfed into the ground. Yeah, this is going to be one of the biggest amounts of torture since last week's Dominatrix. The rules are as follows with this challenge. I can only use the pepperball gun against enemies at all times. That means all tacticals like flashes, rubber grenades, and anything else useful are banned. I am allowing myself to use my special device and wedges, and for this run, I have chose the mirror gun. It is the only way I get any kind of tactical advantage without actually helping me take down suspects. I'm also allowing my AI teammates, and if you have ever played this game with AI, you already know that they are either amazing or have the brains of a goldfish. And lastly, I have 4 get out of jail free cards, which means that I can lower the difficulty on only 3 missions out of the 18, just enough to keep me from going clinically insane. So let's get into Ready or Not. Our first mission is Thank You Come Again, where we visit the For You gas station to take down a few ponces who decide to come and rob a corner shop. Their lives are a discount crime documentary. There are 4 entries into this gas station, and I decide to go straight in through the front like a man who values poor decisions and momentum. Me and the squad absolutely wiped the floor with this first mission. Every one of those degenerate robbers got dropped like a sack of spuds. I secure all the objectives, brought order to chaos, and came out with a solid S rank, and we move on swiftly to 23 megabytes a second. This one had us doing the usual order and chaos routine and rescuing civilians, but we also had to capture a lovely little character. Look at the guy with cat's ears, he's attacking me! Called Michael. There are 2 main entrances into this complex, and the main entrance is way too risky, so I take the side entrance, which drops me right next to one of the hideouts. This mission only took a couple of attempts, though the AI tried its hardest to ruin my life as usual. If you take your time, it is actually not too chaotic. We did lose 1 civilian, which means that one of the objectives has failed, so with that disappointment in mind, I did push to the final apartment very carefully. With that chubby cave dweller in front of me, I almost got taken out, but after pre-firing harder than Jinxie, Michael finally went down and the mission was over. That leaves us with 1 failed objective, 2 officers down, and Michael plus the rest of all the top shelf gooners secured. We leave that mission with a solid C rank. We move on to Twisted Nerve, where the heat really starts to turn up. This mission is spread across 2 connected houses and a cave. I decided to deal with the house first since most of the enemies are in there, and honestly it starts off too damn well. I go in through the front, do some quick scans, and use the mirror gun to check any rats hiding in the walls. But the biggest problem I came across was on the second floor on the connector bridge. They can walk to and from both houses through this area, so I decided to cross the bridge myself and clear out the first room and the attic, just to be safe. And after securing the rest of the building and investigating all of the side objectives, getting into the next building is where things stop being nice. I begged the AI not to do something stupid, and it throws it right back in my face immediately. So I rush in and the rats scatter fast, and after a few really close shaves, we secure the second house and move on to the back garden and the cave. This was the closest I come to dying. Yeah, it's safe to say that I let the lads take points for the rest of the mission, which was the safest choice. But there is still one guy roaming around somewhere and I have no idea where he is. So I carefully make my way through the first house, only for my AI to find him, freeze up, and get absolutely dropped. But after finishing him off, we complete every objective and walk away with a glorious A+ rank. Which brings us to the most insane mission yet. The unique objective for this one is to secure Judge Brixley. The best way I found to clear the area was to wedge every door on the outside of the building, so there was a little space as possible to maneuver and enter through the roof. And oh boy, without this technique, this could have turned chaotic. It took me several attempts, and each time everyone got absolutely slaughtered. This was far from a flyover, but with my final attempt, I had much better luck than any of the others before. I did lose our man Rodriguez from him just flapping off, but with all the objectives complete, we leave this mission with a solid A+. And now we go on to a Lethal Obsession. Now this mission is basically a taster of the trap system, and with only a handful of suspects, it should be one of the easier missions of the game, assuming I do not get clipped by every trap in the building like a complete moron. Oh! Fucking hell. And after that one little boo-boo, we went on to slay the suspects with seasoning. We did lose Agent Harris to the poor AI once again. Still, we leave this mission with a solid A rank. We move on to the infamous Ides of March. This mission gave me proper Vietnam flashbacks because of how disgustingly brutal it is. Without a doubt, this took me a total of 5 hours to complete. The ARs these motherless degenerates were carrying detected me every single time. After hours of getting murked and babysitting the AI, I was seriously on edge. But on one attempt, I finally hit the AI lottery. For once, they remembered they were trained officers and we actually brought order to chaos, secured every hostage, and found the producer. Now, instead of taking the win like a normal person, I got greedy and went searching for whatever I'd missed to get a higher rank. And then this happened. What? Oh my god! I had a look and I couldn't see it! A freaking tripwire. We still got a C rank, which in this game declares as a pass, so sue me. We move flawlessly onto Sinuous Trail. And aren't I a lucky sod for knowing this mission inside out and finally having competent AI for once in this game. I let my AI teammates take point while I stayed behind and just helped them take out the suspects. Of course, that only lasted until 3 of my officers get absolutely hammered and get sent into the Shadow Realm. That left me terrified for this rest of this mission, with suspects running around like rats. This was one of the most intense missions by far. I very carefully made my way through, clearing every area before rushing in, and after 10 minutes of constant searching, I found that rat and spam seasoning in his face. And with the glorious, beautiful Lee staying alive till the end, we leave this mission with a very limp B rank. On to the heavenly break known as Ends of the Earth. This mission is set on the seaside inside of a full house of arms manufacturing criminals. Not gonna lie, this was the biggest and last break I was getting from this campaign. This took 2 solid attempts, since the first one had them crippling me harder than Joe Swanson. But after the second attempt went so much smoother, we plummeted all those degenerates into the ground, all objectives were completed, and we got that sweet S rank. We now move on to the singularly worst mission of the game, Greased Palms. Greased Palms is single-handedly one of the most excruciating painful missions in the game. With almost 20 suspects per run, I tried this for hours and hours on hard and still couldn't even get a lick to the finish line. So unfortunately, I had to use one of my Get Out of Jail free cards to soften the gut punch this mission really was. That did make it easier, but it still was challenging. I got absolutely shredded as usual because I keep forgetting the bloody mag change. And after a very tight squeeze of a run with one officer in the bag, we left this mission with a smooth, steady A rank. Onto the eye-watering Valley of the Dolls. This one was not actually as bad as some of the others in this game. Do not get me wrong, I was still getting slapped around like I just had a fresh trim. One attempt came insanely close. I still had all my officers, and one civilian got dropped by a bodyguard, and I secured everything else. I was clutching right at the end, but in regular Ready or Not fashion, all my officers got dropped harder than a sack of spuds. That left me as the only one alive, still not knowing where these last few suspects were. Taking my time was the only way I was going to do this, so I let it play out.
Get out. Oh, bro. Once you're done dying, I really do not want to go there. Please. No more. No more. Oh. Why is you not getting down? Oh. Please tell me that's it.
Finally, after what felt like the most intense part of the game, all suspects were secured and one civilian was killed, and we left that mission with a not-so-good C rank. We move on to the Elephant. To the uninitiated, this mission would look absolutely horrible. This mission has you rushing to secure the 2 bombs within 10 minutes. There are only 5 suspects in the building, which means for the most part, you can freely run around and search for the bombs. Do not get me wrong, this still took several attempts because I have the luck of a punctured Johnny. But after one very near-death attempt and letting my officers clear the room with only one officer staring down the barrel before getting dropped, we completed all objectives and left with a worthy A rank. We move on to Donald Trump's favorite mission, Rust Belt. This mission is set on the Mexican border, where you have to clear out a cave and the people protecting it. My first couple attempts on this one went absolutely tits up. I got aimbotted so hard it was embarrassing, but then something strange happened. For some reason, most of the suspects complied with my orders without even putting up a fight. I barely even broke a sweat in this mission. That is until the very end, where there were way too many suspects and one of my officers, who was not listening to my commands, got domed. Still, this mission felt too good to be true, and we finished most objectives, secured everybody, and got a succulent A rank. And we now move on to the mission that gave me PTSD, Sins of the Father. This one takes place in a penthouse complex where every suspect has the same aimbot as World at War on veteran difficulty. I had the sheer audacity to attempt this mission on hard, and every single time I couldn't even get close. So I swallowed my pride and bared my second pass and dropped it down to standard. And even then, it still handed me a severe arse whooping. But eventually, we cleared every objective, secured absolutely everyone, and walked away with a juicy S rank. And with that rare little ego boost out of the way, we move on to the traumatic Neon Tomb. I genuinely hate this mission with all my heart. This mission takes place inside of a nightclub, where a group of extremists decided to terrorize the entire place. We got confetti lovers running all around this mission, and a special little target we need to take down called Kodame. Not even gonna lie to you people, this mission took me a whopping 2 days to complete. The sheer number of times I came close or got clapped within the first few seconds nearly had me in tears. I was that frustrated. Let's have a little montage.
I might as well. Ah! Oh! Fucking hell, man! Oh, bro, I literally... Oh, I shot him. Literally. Am I shooting? Am I not shooting anything? Was I just shooting rubber bullets? What the fuck? Where am I getting shot from? No! Oh my god! From one. Fucking yeah, that's gonna happen.
So after that lovely montage of being brutally disrespected, let's focus on the run that actually finally worked. I stuck to my trusty wedges as usual and blocked off the middle death trap before clearing the side hallway and making my way upstairs. Upstairs was easily the most hectic area, so getting rid of that first was #1 priority. I nearly got slimed again for the millionth time, and then came the dance floor. Man, the AI came in so damn clutch here. After living on the edge a little too hard, I stepped back and let the boys take the reins as we pushed towards the bathhouse. The bathhouse was my final stretch, and after 2 full days of suffering, we finally brought order to chaos. The worst mission in the entire game was finally bloody over. I found the remaining civilians and couldn't be arsed finding any of the other side objectives, and left this hellhole with a damn solid A rank. And after gaining some serious PTSD from the Entomb, we're moving on to Buy Cheap, Buy Twice. This mission takes place inside a car dealership with a lovely little chop shop hiding behind it, and these fools have apparently decided to settle who gets the Employee of the Month by declaring the war on the local police. Without a doubt, this one is one of the luckiest runs I had throughout the entire challenge. On my first and only attempt, I brought back the wedge technique, bottlenecking as many areas as possible before clearing the dealership first and leaving the chop shop till very last. And surprisingly, we started off suspiciously well. I started out upstairs, clearing out everybody in the outside area, then moved on to the main dealership floor. This is where I very nearly died. So from that point onwards, I stopped taking the piss and carefully let the boys take point through the remaining areas. I knew my last suspect was hiding inside the chop shop. We carefully made our way in where I could hear the final freak blasting shots like a complete maniac. And after what had been a beautiful run, one of the officers got folded seconds before that bastard finally surrendered, because apparently the game couldn't let me have anything nice. But with the area secured, the final civilians rescued, and every objective complete, we walked away with a very respectable A rank. We now move on to Carriers of the Vine. Now, Carriers of the Vine takes place inside a secluded, all-female community. This mission has 2 main areas, the front house and the church sitting behind it. It took me a handful of attempts because these women pack heavier artillery than Johnny Sins. Each time I came close, the church area would send me straight back to the menu, but on one attempt, we stuck to our usual reg routine and swiftly cleared the entrance building. Things became seriously nerve-wracking the second we entered the basement. Whoa! We secured Diddy's basement, losing one of my goddamn officers on the way.
Shit.
Oh, and yeah, this also happened too. Somehow, I was still feeling very confident, and until I reached the church.
No! I lost 3 officers. Is this it?
No.
What the fuck? Oh! No! Oh. Oh my god.
I genuinely felt like I needed to buy a lottery ticket. That was the luckiest I've ever felt through this entire game. We secured that last piece of evidence and escaped with a very surprising A rank. And with that miracle out of the way, we thrive onto Relapse. This mission takes place across 2 hospital buildings. Our main objective is to defuse 1 bomb in each building, which honestly doesn't sound too bad. I was convinced I was going to slap every single suspect on hard difficulty. Well, as you can see, I got absolutely violated harder than Will Smith's marriage. There was no chance this was happening, especially with some of these freaks running around with confetti vests. So my third get out of jail free card got used very bloody quickly. Even then, the mission refused to let me off easily. I genuinely thought I was still playing on hard with how badly I kept getting shredded, but apparently third time's the charm, even for my beta ass. Every attempt started through the underground entrance, where I quickly cleared the first room so I could reach the second floor as fast as possible. By the time I'd reached the first bomb site, the room was packed with suspects and I'd get absolutely railed. But once everyone decided to calm down, I defused the first bomb and entered the next hellhole with barely any health left. So I let the boys take point, which helped us secure the second bomb site fairly neatly. From there, the room became more and more intense until the final area I had to clear, the morgue. From there, every room became more and more intense. My AI teammates stood there bone-idle and got clapped, and we somehow crawled over the finish line by the skin of our teeth. Except this mission still wasn't over, because I had to find these last bloody civilians. And after 5 minutes of playing an early game of hide and seek, we finally secured them all and left this mission with another beautiful A rank. And we now move on to the actual end game, hide and seek. Yeah, I won't lie, my final get out of jail free card was saved especially for this mission. The finale takes place inside a shipping yard, with a warehouse absolutely packed with suspects. I decided to head straight towards the warehouse and take out those suspects first, and somehow the run started so damn smoothly. And then my AI went straight back to having fewer brain cells than a goldfish.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
This game genuinely did not want me finishing with a happy ending. Every corner I turned, I got chipped down slowly, little by little. But once I finally secured the warehouse, I accidentally stumbled into that room. If you know, you know. Unfortunately, the mission still wasn't over though. There was still rats scurrying around the rest of the shipyard. So I kept searching and searching until finally...
Oh, I don't know where we got shot from. Holy shit, man.
We finally found that last bastard and brought order to chaos. Every objective was complete, and we escaped with a spectacular A rank, and it was finally over. Every mission in Ready or Not had officially been beaten using this pathetic pepperball gun. So what did we learn about Ready or Not? I'm never playing this game again.